Hello and welcome back to Jacqueline Marie's Art. All right, so let's talk about it, the importance of abstinence. Okay, so with sex being advertised everywhere that we look, everywhere that we turn, every angle, every corner, you can't miss it. There is a sexual image being projected to us. How do we become abstinent in such a overly sexualized culture? Okay, let's start by explaining why sex out of marriage is bad for you. So, this goes for men and women alike. Okay, sex out of marriage, as we've already spoken about in a few other videos, is bad for one's mental state. This is where it starts. It damages you mentally, it makes you emotionally dark, it makes you hateful towards the opposite sex. This is not what you want, because in the end we all desire the opposite sex. I mean, unless whatever, but you know what I'm saying, right? For heterosexual relationships, we desire to be with someone. It's just that we're being with these someones in the wrong way. We're getting together, and after a few days and sometimes after a few months, we are having sex. This is the wrong way to go. And then when that doesn't work out, we end up doing the same thing with someone else, and then we jump right into having sex. And sometimes nowadays, how things are going, there really are no relationships. It's just a hookup. Oh, we're dating. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're having sex. Okay, the sex is a very meaningful and heavy thing. So why is something so valuable and so meaningful being given away in such meaningless relationships? All right, we want to keep ourselves mentally sane. Whether we know it or not, it drives us slowly insane. How does it drive men slowly insane while you're still functional? It makes you hate women. It makes you selfish towards women. If you're a good-looking man, or not even, if you're a man that has a high sexual appeal and a lot of women want you, you don't have to be handsome. You could be just edgy, or even what some would describe ugly, but very sexy. You'll take advantage of that, and you will notice, especially in this day and age, you'll be molded into a man that just shows up only to have sex with women. You'll notice that you give absolutely nothing back to these women. So you just become a taker, and you won't want to settle down with anybody, because you could have sex anytime you want with whoever you want without putting in any kind of effort or anything. So that turns you into a silent monster, okay? Because this is not the right thing to do. Why isn't this the right thing to do? I could get any sex I want. It was consensual. Well, first of all, you are taking something from somebody when you do not want the person. Men do not want women taking their money when the woman does not want them. So, on the other hand, if you do not want a woman, you should not be taking sex from her, because believe it or not, the sex is more valuable than the money. Why is it so? Because sex is a spiritual act, and it wounds the soul and the spirit. Okay, that's why it's deeply wounding. Somebody taking a few $100s from us does not wound us emotionally. It wounds us. Oh, I'm annoyed she took my money, but it's not an emotional wound. You can always get that back, but this wound is something else. It's like a knife wound, but it's to the spirit and the soul, meaning the parts of you that you can't see. Okay, so and also, when you have a daughter, this same exact thing will more than likely be reenacted to your daughters, where they will find a lot of men who will just run through them and want nothing to do with them. You won't be able to do anything to stop this, because this is a curse that you have opened up, and you could try to look for these men and shoot them, but you just believe you won't be able to stop it, okay? Because this is a spiritual thing, and you cannot stop spiritual things when they're set in motion, especially by yourself. So night, like I said, must follow day, and you'll be very devastated. If you love your daughters, it will bother you. All right, so this is how why it's bad for you. You will turn into a silent monster. You will become a shadow of yourself. You become dark and evil and selfish. And this is not the way you were intended to be. So, as a woman, you having a bunch of different sexual partners, you will become emotionally unstable. With a lot of men that you get with, you will start arguments with them, a lot of fights. You'll just be bitter and you'll be like, I hate men. I hate men. I hate men. I hate women. Like I can't. But still, you want to be with somebody, but you have all this heaviness on you going into each relationships, and you'll notice that the relationships won't last. It will just be like for a short while. Then you pick up with another man and you sleep with that man, and so forth and so forth. So it makes you emotionally unstable. It creates a broken home for your child. And we've already been through the plethora of bad luck that can befall children that comes from broken homes. Like, let's say a black home. The person could end up in jail. They could die before their time. They could end up in a gang, in and out of police custody, in and out of prison. The short-term stay prison. But you have a long rap sheet. So this is all the consequences of being born out of wedlock that could befall someone. And yes, like I said, it's travels with the spirit of death. So the person, your child, could die before his time. That's why so many young men are dying before their time, and people are not aware of what is the cause beyond all of this. You understand? You could lead to mental illness for the child or yourself. You pick up mental illness. It's like a sexually transmitted spirit. Somebody you sleep with has mental illness down in their line, and you sleep with them, and because you are living in a relationship that is outside of the protection that God put it, you are free range for these spirits to jump on you, and you will no longer be yourself. You will be a shadow of yourself. We'll see you and you won't recognize us. All of this is what could happen to you or your children. All right, so this is why it's important to practice abstinence. You preserve your mental condition, you preserve your soul and your spirit. And each time you have sex, keep in mind you are getting a part of that person and they're getting a part of you left behind. So it doesn't matter, oh, that was just a one night stand, I didn't mean anything. Well, that's what you think. It means everything. So it means everything. All right. People like to, oh, that was in the past. Well, it doesn't work like that, okay? It follows you straight up to the present. Where will it follow you to? Till the day that you yourself finally get married. Because everybody who says they don't want to marry now, when they're approaching old age and they're not so great looking and they can't really get what they used to get, they will want to marry. That's just the way life is. And this is when this spirit that you have been serving with your body will collect from you, because they're always collecting something that is valuable, something that you need, or your child's life. The child died before their time. The child is in mental illness. He's in and out of prison. So you see how this works, all right? It's not free. It's you're hurting your own self. Like we said, you're sinning against yourself. You are damaging your own self. Abstinence, when you practice it, it leaves you in a peaceful state. All right, you are not bitter and angry and suicidal or want to commit murder. All right, it leaves you. You don't hate the opposite sex. You don't hate women. You don't hate men. You're not in this mode of hatred. You just become this dark, hateful being. You're not aware of it because it's such a common thing that you don't even notice it. You're just hateful. You're filled with all this hate and rage, and you're not even aware of it, because you just go from sex partner to sex partner. So you will remain sane. You'll remain at peace. You will remain a kind person. All right. You will remain in a tranquil state. Life is hard, and there are a lot of ups and downs and challenges, and you'll deal with them. But this is on another level. You will be more calm and happier with life. You won't be so bitter and so hateful and just run through men or run through women. You won't want to hurt. These days when I listen to people talk, they just want to hurt the opposite sex. They just want to get even. Okay, so this is coming from your fornication, your endless sex out of marriage. Like I said, it darkens you. You're just not aware of it because you're so used to doing it. And no one is telling us this. All right, so you will not feel that way if you stay out of this self destructive behavior. And trust me, this is one of the most self destructive things that anybody could do to themselves. I know men are constantly being told, oh, yo, you're the man if you do this. Oh, yeah, you're whatever. That it's a great thing that men do this. This is one of the biggest lies that Satan, your enemy, has going. It is not true. You will turn into a dark, cold, evil human being. You just won't be aware of it. All right? So stay out of this self-destruction. Stay out of this degeneracy. It is not to your benefit one bit that you sleep around with a whole bunch of women. You are not winning anything. You're actually a complete loser. All right? Because in the end, you will lose. Nobody tramples over God's laws and go free. Whether you believe in God or not, it's irrelevant. You will still pay, because whether you believe there is a God or not, there is one. So too bad if you don't believe. I'm just saying this, go people go, oh, I don't believe in God. Well, too bad. He believes in you and he wants better for you. So that's why I'm telling you this, okay? And yeah, so this isn't getting you anywhere. So abstinence is important for that reason. You save yourselves, men and women, boys and girls, for your husband and your wives, and in the end you will see it will be worth it. All right, you won't bring all that bitterness, that I don't want to have sex with my wife, all this chaos and self-destruction dragging behind you, making kids that end up in prison, making kids that are shot before their time, making kids that are the next in line of baby mamas and baby daddies, or making kids that are living in broken home with stepfather who's molesting them or murdering them and so forth. Just stop. All right, it's time to end the cycle of self-destruction. Let's do better for ourselves. All right, so that's it for this video. So thank you for tuning in. Like I always say, anybody that needs this, please jump in and use it, because I know, we all fall into this rut. I'm just pinpointing the Black community a little bit more because I see this degeneracy is more amplified in this community, which is the one I belong to. So I'm just putting that out there. But anybody that is suffering from these self-destructive behaviors, please use this information, because I know the human race is under this assault from this behavior. All right, so thank you for tuning in. That's it for today, and see you next time. Thank you for coming to Jacqueline Marie's Art. Bye.